Hi everyone, welcome to Screenplay Central. Today we will be reviewing The Beast by Sala. The logline reads, after a plane crash in the Pacific Ocean, a woman finds herself marooned on an island with a bloodthirsty beast. So firstly, just a bit about the writer and the script. This was written by a brand new writer, Sala, and he submitted this into the Launchpad screenwriting competition last year, and it generated interest and got him representation. And it was just sold this year in March, or I guess last year, March 2018. And it was also featured on the blacklist for 2018 with 9 votes, so in the middle. So huge props. I love reading these types of scripts where it's just a brand new writer out of nowhere and he's able to get a script deal, he's able to get representation. I think there's always something that we can learn from these types of screenplays. So I checked out the script, and before I get into my initial impressions, I'll just explain a bit about the plot. So essentially our protagonist is Jessica, and she's the sole survivor of a plane crash. She finds herself stranded on an island, and as she's attempting to survive the elements, she encounters this beast that's described as having 4 arms and razor sharp teeth and 4 eyes. And so it's this very warped type of creature that we've never seen before. And she has to essentially face off with it and survive. And that's essentially the tale of the script. And so what did I think? Well, initial impressions, I was very, very impressed by the script. And I suggest that anyone who's listening read this script. If you're really serious about screenwriting, I think this is the type of script that you should be trying to write to get noticed. And the main reason is because it has all those main ingredients you want to see in a spec script. It's very minimalistic, it's cheap to shoot, it's contained. I can see an actress wanting to play this role as it's like a very intense role, very demanding role, and the character goes through a very big emotional and physical transformation. And I think that's appealing to any actor. And I think the main thing that we can learn from this is I really appreciated the unconventional choices the writer made. So for example, there were certain plot points that I thought were pretty original. We see the monster already right on page 15. And when we're dealing with these types of contained scripts, usually what happens is when you're dealing with a creature or a monster, you want to really extend it and delay it and stretch it out. I was expecting, honestly, to not see the monster physically until maybe page 30 or page 40. But no, we see it right on page 15, how it looks and how it interacts with the character. And so is that I found that choice very interesting, and it showed me that the writer was very confident in the story that they were telling and that they had more story to give. And then another example is on page 40, where we get 3 new characters that she encounters. And this is going to be going to a bit of spoiler territory, so if you don't want to ruin it, I suggest just pause now, read the script, and then come back. But basically, on page 40, she encounters these 3 new characters that just happen to stumble onto the island, and I was genuinely shocked when the character Choi was killed, because she was just making a genuine relationship with him. They were connecting, and then all of a sudden he's just dead. In the next couple of pages, he goes out to get water, and his body's there's a scream, and then his body's found dead. And I thought that was a very, very interesting choice by the writer, and that death happens at around page 50 or 60, and this is a 100-page script, so there are still 40 more pages to go. And it left me thinking as a reader, what now? What's going to happen? And I love it when writers do that, because it makes me as a reader curious to see where it's going to go, because I thought it was going in a certain direction, like maybe they're going to team up and they're going to face the monster, and Choi is going to overcome his personal demons and Jessica will overcome her personal demons, and maybe they'll even be in a relationship by the end of it. But no, Choi is just gone. And I thought that was very neat choice by the writer, that essentially and thematically it makes sense. Like, she has to go through this journey herself. She has to face this monster herself because of her very complicated personal issues that she's facing. I also liked how the beast was not simply this straightforward monster. It was almost like a dog that just wanted to play. And I've never seen that in any other type of horror thriller category where we're dealing with a monster. So it added this nuance, this subtlety that I appreciated as it was unique. It also helped distinguish the monster and gave it this predator-like feel, where it's treating Jessica as if she's a game, and the beast is just using Jessica to amuse himself because maybe it's bored as well living on that island. And I like that dynamic, and it made it more realistic, because Jessica is, this 31-year-old single mother, and she's not, by no means should she be able to survive this. If you're facing a beast, I wouldn't be able to survive this. I'd probably die in the first day. And yet she survives for years on this island. And I think it added more realism to it, that the monster is kind of keeping Jessica around, playing with her, taunting her, that made it more realistic that, okay, she's able to survive. So in terms of nitpicks, in terms of things I think could be improved, these are very small, but I was a bit confused sometimes with the Beast and how it worked. So for example, it seemed to always attack Claire at very convenient times. It seemed to just come out of nowhere just whenever it was convenient for the script, and I think that type of pacing can be worked out a bit more, or at least like the reasoning as to why the Beast is coming now as opposed to later. So for example, it used to come out usually in the dark, and I thought that was the rules going into the script, but then later on it would also come out during the daytime. So I thought that was just interesting, and I wanted to see more clarity on that. Island is also described as having, I believe it was a 3 mile radius in the opening couple pages, and I thought that seems really, really small for an island, and it made it a bit implausible that the Beast was not able to find Claire's hideout in all those years that they were together, if the island is that small, and if it's that small, how she's able to outrun the Beast or outfox the Beast or outhide the Beast, considering the Beast has been on the island for way longer. Like I said, it was just, these are very small nitpicks. They didn't really take me out of the story. It's just things I thought of more afterward, but I think it's something that's worth considering and looking into. I could also be wrong, so for any of you guys who've read the script and you believe that these questions were answered, by all means, please add it in the comments below. I also liked, finally, when we come to the ending, how it wasn't sugar-coated. So essentially, Jessica's going through an internal journey and an external journey. The external one is her having to face the Beast, and the internal one is the emotional one, with her having to deal with the domestic abuse that she's experiencing with her husband and the fact that she had to leave him and her children. And I liked in the end how she doesn't just like kill the husband. She gets some revenge, but then it's very realistic. It's very grounded. She still has to go through a custody battle. She still has to fight. And I think thematically that's the point of the script. Jessica wasn't willing to fight before for her family or for her own self-worth, but now she is because of this experience. She's ready. And it just added this higher level to the script that I don't think you really see in other thriller or horror films, and really allowed me to resonate as a reader with the character. I also liked in the ending how there was this franchise potential. It's like hinted that the government agent comes to visit Jessica and wants to clarify the story with her and say, so what did you really see? And she has to basically say, no, I never saw the Beast, and the other people just died from dehydration or starvation. And I really like that aspect because I think there is this whole monsters universe happening with King Kong and Godzilla, and I thought this could perfectly fit in like this Cloverfield 10-lane sort of way where this started out as a spec, but it could very easily interweave into one of those monster categories. And so I thought that was a very neat addition by the writer, and very, very clever. And I hope to see something like that pan out. That'd be very neat to see. So overall, guys, I really highly recommend you check out The Beast. It's a great script. It's very inspirational for all of us who are just trying to learn and break into the spec industry. And I wish all the luck, best of luck to the writer. And let me know what you guys thought in the comments, and like and subscribe if you thought this review was helpful. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later.